You spend hours memorizing words. Perhaps you even have notebooks full of vocabulary. But the second you open your mouth to speak, your brain goes blank. Nothing activates. If you have been in this situation, could you let me know in the comments? Because let's be honest, it's embarrassing, isn't it? It's even humiliating, isn't it? But what I need you to know is that you are not unintelligent. You are just using the wrong method. You're studying English like a textbook. You're studying English the way you were taught at school. You're not studying English like a language. Now, we're going to dive into something today, and it's completely different from the 200 words you need to know before you die, or 10 different ways to say angry. Those lists don't translate into real world speaking. Royal family sparks outrage, splashing millions to erase traces of exiled Harry and Meghan. Okay, let's get through this article. Try to spot the advanced vocabulary. By the way, are you a fan of Harry and Meghan? Do let me know in the comments section. The royal family is facing fresh criticism over splashing what could be millions of dollars. Splashing. And this is about the extensive renovations and intense public scrutiny. So we've got the Frogmore saga and fresh outrage. So these words immediately, if you skim through them, tells you people are angry. And Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties. Step back, that's a euphemism. We're going to get into it. Okay, and the British taxpayers, hard pressed. If you already know what this means, pop it into the comments. And saga is it positive or negative? And they have little appetite for hearing about this. Little appetite. And do you think it is a revenge project? You know, just by skimming through it and highlighting those phrases, what is the tone of the article? And when they say taxpayer fury, remember when I said 10 different ways to say angry? Well, you just learnt it in context. Extreme anger, fury. Let's get into it. Today, we're going to look at what's happening in the news. The royal family is currently embroiled in a Frogmore saga. I used the word embroiled very deliberately. I'm going to pop it into the comments, and I would like you to investigate, to do some research. What does embroiled mean? Is it positive? Is it negative? All right. Now, what is the Frogmore saga? Well, it's a multi-million-dollar controversy over a property, reputations, and what some people say is a revenge move. It's a bitter attempt to erase the past. Erase, yes, like an eraser, erase the past. So, you're thinking, okay, why does this matter to my English? Well, because it's real, because it's raw, because it's complex, because it's what's going on in the real world. And if you're thinking, this is about Harry and Meghan and I really don't care, that's okay. But what if I told you it is the language of power? It's the language of criticism. It's the language of public debate. Now you saying, well, I'm B2, I want to get to C1. Well, if you can't navigate these nuances, then you aren't fluent. You are nowhere close to C1, very far off from native, but it's actually not that great of a gap to bridge. And that's where our course comes in. We bridge the gap. Now today, we're not just reciting a script. No, we're not. We are diving deeper. Now, if you have been trapped in this competitive cycle of trying to force English into your brain, stuffing your brain with 10 different ways to say angry, creating flashcards, nothing works, well, why don't you give us a shot? I am launching my 12-week program. We aren't teaching you English, we are immersing you in it. And I'm looking for 12 committed individuals who are done with excuses, who are done with the old way, who are ready to stop studying a language and to start living it. I will personally mentor you, train you, give you the exact strategies to turn silent, passive vocabulary into an active, lethal weapon of communication. Everything in your life could be different 12 weeks from now. Now, I did say we're going to dive into this article. Okay, so let's look at the power dynamics in the story and also the power behind the words. Now, the first one, did you spot it? They say the firm, and you're thinking, oh, the firm? I worked for that firm. It's a company. Well, in this context, what if I told you that the firm is a nickname for the British royal family? And when they use the phrase the firm, they are treating the royal family as a corporate business entity rather than just a family. Now, if you're wondering, okay, why does this even matter? Well, it strips away the romantic image of royalty, crowns, and tiaras, but it highlights the cold, calculated, deliberate, financial nature of their operations. The British royal family, the firm, the firm. Now, there were some euphemisms used in this article, and you're wondering, what is a euphemism? I have no idea. Well, when there's a word that is too harsh, too blunt, too offensive, like he died, right? That's pretty bold and blunt and harsh. Well, then we use a mild or indirect word instead, a euphemism. So, did you catch that phrase, stepping back? Stepping back, that's a euphemism, because the reality is that Harry and Meghan did not just step back, they resigned. They fled on their freedom flight because of all the internal conflict. Now, when this article uses the phrase stepping back, it sounds like a professional career choice. So it covers up the drama that was going on, the euphemism stepping back. So if someone says, I'm stepping back from my role, maybe they've actually been fired, right? But they are trying to cover up the drama. They don't want to sound too harsh, too blunt. The other example that I gave you was when someone dies, we say, they passed away. They passed away. Did you catch the phrase splashing? Splashing millions. Splashing millions. Do you think it's positive or negative? Let me know in the comments. Now, if I say, I spent money, neutral, right? Neutral. But if I say, I splashed money on a designer gown or on a handbag, I'm implying recklessness, wastefulness. I'm kind of arrogant with funds. I'm extravagant. I'm showy. I'm showing off. I'm careless. So when they said splashing millions, and those millions came from the taxpayers, it creates this picture, it creates this image that the spender is irresponsible, splashing money, spending money in an extravagant, showy way. Now, let's see, did you catch some of the other phrases? They said that Harry and Meghan are exiled. So, when you exiled, you are actually expelled, thrown out from your native country, from a group even. So, it's usually political. Okay, so I think Napoleon was exiled. It implies banishment. Banishment. You are no longer welcome. You are being cast out. You're being sent away, evicted by the ruling power. And yes, do you remember what the ruling power is here? The royal family. The other word? Yes, the firm. Now, exiled. It is a dramatic, heavy word, and it highlights the loss of status. They spoke about the people in the UK who are hard pressed. Now, we use this phrase, it's a lovely one. You can be hard pressed for money, you could be hard pressed for time, and that means you are facing great difficulties. So these two were splashing millions, and the taxpayers were hard pressed for money. They were struggling with money. And to distance oneself, I love this one, to make it clear that you are not associated with someone or something. So it's a very clear act of rejection, not just moving away. No. It's a deliberate effort to scrub away a reputation, a memory, the person completely. So you distance yourself from maybe someone who has criminal tendencies or someone who is, it's going to be negative, right? So who would you distance yourself from, or what would you distance yourself from? I'd love to know. And the moment you comment, you are one step closer to the 12 weeks of change. I have two more for you today. A saga. A saga is a long, complicated, and often a very tedious story of events. So, when you call something a saga, you are saying, oh, this is long, it's annoying, it's a never-ending drama. And many people say, the Sussex saga. It goes on and on and on. People find them to be very annoying, very tiresome. The public is sick of dealing with them. The Sussex saga. And then the last one I have for you today is little appetite for something. That means I have no desire for it, no interest in it, and no patience for it. It's a polite way of saying, look, I'm completely fed up. So the public has little appetite for Harry and Meghan. This means that the public has reached their limit and they want to hear no more about the Sussexes or the Sussex saga. If you feel like you are someone who is ready to change your life, all right, that 12 weeks from now, your life needs to be different. You need to be able to apply for the job of your dreams. Well, then the link to the course is in the description. Stop wasting time. Start the immersion today. And once again, I'm going to remind you, this was not about the royal family. This was about the language of power. Thanks for joining me.